And we're live.
Hello. I almost spit my coffee out because you were making me laugh before the show. I have iced coffee this time.
I don't think I've been this poorly organised for a show for a while. I usually do it like a day or two ahead, and then I went to send you the link to invite you to the happy hour on Thursday, and then I realised I hadn't even created the post yet.
Oh, that's funny.
So I literally created it quarter of an hour ago. So it's
well, we were reminiscing on previous shows and saying how we have a lot of friends that we've interviewed, and it's just it feels like we're having coffee with friends when we chat with them. And then you were making fun of my one starstruck moment.
Yes, that's a particular religious. Well, is he? He's a pastor or whatever. You were kind of like, oh. And it was up to him, and I'm like, well, I'm not the person who invited him on the show, but he was really good guest.
He's extremely interesting, brilliant, fascinating, and all the ways that make me go.
You should never interview your heroes. That's the main thing. Well, actually, you should interview your heroes after you've interviewed the. Don't go for Iron Man. Go for obscure Marvel. Who's not a really obscure Marvel hero you would go to? Then you gradually build up to Iron Man at the end. That way, you're kind of better at interviewing.
I don't know how to do that, Tim. I just jump right in. And clearly that doesn't work for me.
Right. As our millions of viewers know from our Thursday shows, we have structure to Thursday now. We have 4 segments. And my slightly dodgy eyesight, I'm trying to work out which. Oh, I'll just pick one. So
let's do it. What are you up to this week? What are you up to this week? Tim, what are you up to this week?
Well, I've been slightly busy because I managed to book myself into 2 online conferences at the same time today. A Social Day, which is a UK conference, which is actually nothing to do with Social Media Day, even though some people in the US have tried to make it. The London-based social media conference was supposed to be in May.
Okay.
They moved it. They delayed it. So it was supposed to be in real life this week, but now they made it a virtual event. So Tuesday, Wednesday, today.
Okay.
So I was kind of watching that. But I also booked myself in to watch You Are the Media. It's like they do a lunch meeting every month or so. They're based in the South Coast in the UK. And they had Joe Polizzi, who I'm a little bit starstruck by. So he was kind of speaking there. So he's one of the founders of the Content Marketing Institute. Content Marketing Institute. So one of the sort of world authorities on content marketing. So that was really interesting, but I kind of had to skip away from Social Day and watch that and then come back.
Okay. I noticed, I did notice one of our guests, Jen, was hanging out at Social Day, having a blast. So she's been posting.
Oh, yeah, no, she was really into it. I can see they've got a little app for it, which is good.
That's cool.
So I saw that Jen was there.
Okay.
And yeah, the rest of the time I've been basically trying to either sort out internet or worry about internet or think about changing internet.
Oh my God.
I didn't really have any broadband until Monday from last week's show I did on 4G. I did it on my mobile. But what I did discover was I ordered another SIM from a different mobile phone network, which I've tried in my phone now, and it's about 3 times as quick. And apparently this is quite common. Like there are some networks that are quicker than others in London. So I'm going to switch over to that. But obviously at the moment my telephone number's on this SIM card. So I have to ring them up to switch that over. So I need to do that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like with lots of these things, you just think, oh, I've got a 4G card. Like it's the fastest it must be. But actually some networks are quicker than others. I don't know if that's true in the US, but here it certainly is true.
I don't know. What I'm up to this week is my son went back to school and he's doing it all online. And he comes in every single day and says, Mom, the Wi-Fi is not working. So we're having a little bit of this, but I've been having this problem since, lockdown.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing thing. But because he's in school, he has to be able to connect. He's 14, he's in 8th grade. I keep telling him, you have to go to school. Like, this not having internet isn't going to work. So we're going to have to really buckle down, meet with his teacher, chat with him, figure out how to get him in. Because some of the things he's having problems with, I'm not necessarily having problems with. However, I have had problems with Zoom, which is how the class is now online. So we'll have to figure something out. And actually, that brings up an interesting note. I've noticed some news articles that are saying children who, because many of our schools still aren't back actually in the classroom setting, I've seen news articles where children who don't have cable or Wi-Fi connection, they're going and sitting outside of like coffee shops and fast food shops to their internet. That's something we don't think about.
Oh, no. I was thinking about there's this kind of internet poverty you get when you haven't got decent broadband, because you can do a lot of things, but you can't do Zoom. And actually, you can just about do it on 4G, but you need to be in the right place, and you need to have the right card, and you need to be like sort of hanging out the window somewhere, and hope that nobody else is in the same area is trying to do it on the same mobile network as you. So yeah, it's almost becoming like a utility, isn't it? Like water or electricity. I think most people would prefer to lose broadband over electricity and water, but it's sort of getting it up to that level, really, especially with the current environment.
Yeah, so our cable problems can't be fixed unless someone comes into our apartment. They've already said, like, someone has to come in and check out the wiring. So I actually considered taking my son after seeing these news articles, I was like, well, maybe I need to take him to McDonald's and sit outside and hook up. I don't know. But
But I think Starbucks have got better Wi-Fi.
Wherever I literally was thinking, well, maybe I need to do that because our cable. So, and just so our viewers know, the reason why I'm able to hook up, I'm in my old bedroom at my parents' house. So so it's kind of, we don't
send your kid to school and your parents.
I can what?
Send your kid to school to your parents, Bly.
I told him, you know what, just come over with me and we can work on it here. Mom, we have the mom-son chat about this. But anyway, that's what we're up to. School started. So everyone who has their kids back in school, some are in the classroom, some are staying home. I actually was going to choose to keep him home and homeschool him. It's something that we actually really enjoy. But there's a lot going on in our single mom raising a son. It's a lot. Props up to all the single parents out there. It's a lot.
Well, especially now. I can imagine. Okay, so I can either talk to you about Google Tasks or we can change to a different topic.
Google Tasks?
Well, I was just saying before the interview, I've been looking for a platform that will let me track everything so that I don't make mistakes like forgetting to set up the show link and everything. And there's actually a product, Google have all sorts of weird products in their Google G Suite, which I sign up for and pay like $5 a month for or something like that.
Okay.
One of them is Google Tasks. So they've got their own little task list thing that I didn't even know existed. I thought, well, they must have one. So I Googled it and it's like, oh yeah. So that might be my solution to being more organized. But anyway, that was what I was saying. If anybody who's watching it has a fantastic organizer, watching the show, even in the replay, if you've got a fantastic to-do list application or anything like that works for you, then let me know.
I could use that as well. I'm always looking for, good God, I'm ADHD. You can only have so many Post-it notes all over your house before you lose every Post-it note.
Right.
What's our next theme, Tim?
Hot recommendations.
recommendations. Okay, you're gonna have to go first because I have to think of my hot recommendation.
Yeah, I watched. I actually watched a YouTube video which I thought was worth recommending this week. Trying to remember what it was about. No, I think it was like Wendell Productions or something. It's like this, but they were saying about. It was a really interesting video about how COVID has broken the airlines' booking systems. Because apparently, like airlines, like fly airplanes, commercial airlines, for years, all of their booking systems in terms of pricing and everything have been optimized because they knew exactly for every day of the year, roughly plus or minus a bit, how many people were going to be traveling particular routes. So they adjusted the price. They had these computer algorithms for adjusting the price so that like people who booked really early got like a cheaper price, and then people who were booking at the last minute. But they didn't want to like have it so that flights were overbooked straight away or booked. So they had all these complicated systems. They had all this like 30 years of data about like what days demand was for each day of the week. And apparently these had these wonderful systems, and then COVID comes, and they say the big problem is that even after COVID goes, it's not going to go back to what it was. So at the moment, apparently they've got loads of they've got people manually setting the price now. So all these computer systems they spent years designing have all been broken by the fact that of the COVID crisis.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. Wendover Productions. That's the name of the. I won't try and go to YouTube because I'll probably end up playing it randomly and we'll get a strike. But
so, as you know, my boyfriend lives in the UK. Every once in a while, we'll check whether or not we're allowed to fly anywhere. And okay, so here's the thing. I happen to know that British people are coming to America and hanging out and not quarantining. But when James and I look at whether we're allowed to fly or not, it actually we're still on a strict travel ban.
Yeah, you
both
can't fly
UK
directly.
and US.
You could. I mean, I don't think there's anything to stop you getting a flight to Iceland and then getting a flight. Well, assuming that I don't know, Iceland might be quarantined in the UK, and then just go up buying another flight from Iceland to the UK. But I don't think they'll let you book a direct ticket from here to from. But I don't know. I mean, it's all a bit kind of bit
when
weird.
we checked out. We have to compare UK and America. So whenever we check out, and nobody really, I mean, we're pretty much the two countries that people don't want to let in because we have. So when you decide to date overseas, choose a different country. But we have the most travel bans. Like most countries don't want to let us in, nor should they. I mean, we definitely have the highest rates of illness. So we started checking things out, and I learned things like, did you know Antarctica is a tourist destination? I had no idea.
I thought about going to Antarctica actually.
What were you going to do there?
There's a couple of ways of doing it. Most people take a cruise from the very tip of Argentina. It's called Usui or something. Okay. I've actually known some people who've done it. The only trouble is it's about like $4,000 to do the trip, and it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
most of the time you're spent on a boat.
Yeah,
and I don't really like. I probably should do it. I'm not a big fan of boat, and they like the other end. You have to go on a dinghy, and like they take you off the boat to the thing. And I hate small boats even more than I hate big boats. I don't mind big boats actually, to be honest, but small boats I hate with abandon.
Yeah,
just don't feel too secure on small boats.
No.
But there is a Champagne Charlie way of doing it. You can spend like $15,000 and then you can fly into the South Pole. But I don't really want to spend that amount of money, and I haven't got that amount of money to spend on an Antarctic trip anyway. But that's because you can't obviously the cruise ships that go from Argentina, they just basically you go around the outside of Antarctica until you see the penguins and polar bears and whatever.
Okay.
Polar bears? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I found out Antarctica does not have polar bears because
they're in the north, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, I found this out because I put up a GIF that had a polar bear, and then someone commented on my Twitter account that there's no polar bears there. So they're but anyways, I found out everything you said. One, it's very expensive. Two, it's very lengthy to get there. Yeah. And then three, actually the other thing I found out is the waters there are not the safest. It's not the safest travel route to get there.
No, well, it's the whole rounding of the Cape Horn. Is it Cape Horn? The bit around the bottom of South America is one of the most treacherous bits of seaways in the world. And that's where they leave from. So it's like,
Yeah. So in kind of looking for places that we could actually meet, there's places I can go that you guys can't go. There's places you can go that I can't go. It's it's quite something.
I don't think it's as bad for the UK as it is for the US, because there's lots of European places that are taking British people basically because they need the bloody tourists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places in Europe. I think if anywhere in the US made a half decent effort to try and control COVID, they would let Americans in probably.
Yeah.
For a while, but you're not there yet. So
no. So anyways, hot recommendations. I don't even know where was I going with that? Hot recommendations, travel.
I don't know. It's like Antarctica. You want to travel to Antarctica?
Go to Antarctica. It could be an interesting experience. It wouldn't be number one on my list, but there's enough places I want to travel other than Antarctica.
Yeah.
But
it's gone down my list quite a bit, actually. It was higher up. But it's a bit like Egypt. Egypt's somewhere I want to visit, but there are only certain times a year it makes sense. And Antarctica, there's really is only January, December, and that's it.
I do want to go to Egypt. The history there, I'm fascinated by the history and I worked in a seminary some years ago, and one of the professors was doing research on old manuscripts, and I find that kind of stuff fascinating. I would want to go what I would want to do there to study history would be insane. But yeah, it's probably lower on my list as well. But where's the number one place you want to go outside of the US, outside of the UK?
Probably would be Egypt, actually. Luxor, Egypt. I'm not especially bothered about going to Cairo. Obviously there's the pyramids. And there's the new Great Egyptian Museum, which is this massive museum they built in Cairo. So that would be interesting. But most of the stuff is further down the Nile, which Luxor.
Yeah.
Possibly do a Nile cruise, even though it's a bit of a cliche, and it's a boat.
Oh no! You know what else I would want to do anywhere I go is discover the street food scene.
Well, take some anti-diarrhea tablets with you. Apparently, ice is the biggest thing that causes food poisoning in ice cubes, because obviously water is not. We're used to potable water here, where you can drink water from the tap. But a lot of the time, these places will just take tap water, and put in the ice cubes, and obviously, that's coming into your. Anything from that. So they say never ask for ice in places with dodgy tap water.
Okay. Well, okay. So I guess my recommendation,
which will probably be the US soon, the way you're going.
Well, I don't know what my hot recommendation there was, but travel more, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. What else have we got? Well, let's do the quiz.
Quiz time. Are we doing the same quiz as last time? Because I pretty much was not doing well with that.
We are doing the same. This has the great advantage that I don't have to create a new quiz each week. So
okay, so on my cup, do you know what's on my cup?
Map of the world? Mm-hmm.
No, look, it's a elephant. Something that San Diego is well known for is, and have you been, Tim?
The zoo.
The zoo. Have you been?
Yeah, I've been about I've been twice to the zoo actually. The best tip with San Diego Zoo is go when it opens in the morning because it's.
Oh yeah,
you can just. I just went. I remember walking through the panda bit, and they like walking past the hour queue for the pandas, half an hour, and then look at panda. Hang on, walk out.
Oh yeah, because it gets pretty crowded and it's hot during the summer. So
Yeah.
but it is okay. So we're still doing the. I forgot what it is. What am I doing? Where were they born? I didn't even study this. I did not look it up. I was already wrong.
Well, I put in the 2 answers you've got correct in green. And I've removed all your random incorrect guesses.
Well, I thought I was on a roll, and I'm not. It was a big fail, and I need help. I need to know. I should tweet out, where was Brad Pitt born? Do you think I could get help? Should I tweet it out, Tim?
Well, you could try it.
Where was...
It's a bit like the old ask the audience thing, isn't it?
I'm asking the audience, where was Brad? I think he was born in the South somewhere, too. This is like weird tidbits that I actually have known at one point. At Tim, who are you, Tim? There you are. Is quizzing me. Quizzing me now.
That's a bit rude.
Tim is quizzing me. Where was Brad Pitt born? We need to know these things. These are the things I need to know. And I knew at one time. Okay, I already got Martin Luther King Jr. wrong because I guessed Birmingham, Alabama. I'm going to get out a map.
Yeah, you can use any. Well, I mean, you've had a whole week to look all these answers up.
I don't cheat, Tim. I don't cheat. That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't feel right coming on here having looked up. And honestly, I forgot who. I forgot.
And you got Ariana Grande was born in Florida, right? And you also got Stephen King was in Maine. You've only got another 48 to get right. We'll just keep going. We'll keep going to either we both get really bored of it or you complete it. So
I got Stephen King right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was kind of like some of these I know the region, and but I think he talks about Maine a lot. Aren't his books?
He does, yeah. He's always going on about Maine.
Okay, so now here we are. Seeing if
anybody in the comments has any ideas.
I tweeted out where was Brad Pitt born, and so far, no help from the audience.
I actually do remember where he was born. I was a bit surprised because he's like some of these, like having to go through. I remember searching this. Like some of the states, it really was scraping the bottom of the barrel to find anybody, and I was expecting the state Brad Pitt was to be born in was to be like one of those, but it was. I was like, oh my god, Brad Pitt was born there. So
well, I want to say like Arkansas or. Am I on the right track?
It's within that kind of. It's within 5,000 miles of that.
It's within what?
No, well, it's that's the right sort of area.
Okay, Missouri. I mean, in that vicinity.
I'm not playing individual guessing games.
Was he born in Mississippi? It's like somewhere in that vicinity. Let's go with Missouri. Let's just put Missouri.
For Brad Pitt, Missouri.
Brad Pitt, Missouri. Because for some reason I know regions of I don't know why. I remember regions for some reason. It's how my brain processes.
Oh, what about Martin Luther King Jr.?
Well, I was super wrong. I guessed Birmingham and Alabama. So let's go with. Was he born in Mississippi?
Lots of Mississippi? Is that what you were saying?
I'm going to say Mississippi. Georgia, Tennessee, Arkansas. I would guess any of those. Let's go with Mississippi.
Next week we can.
We're going to be here forever, Tim. You did all 50 States. Katy Perry, I actually have no idea. I don't even remember.
I thought she was British for some reason, but she isn't.
No. Katy Perry, her parents were pastors, if I remember right. But where? Where were they pastors? Were they like, oh gosh. I mean, were they like Midwest?
When she kissed the boy, did they like it? That's the question.
Were they like Midwest? Can you give me this? Is Katy Perry a Midwest girl?
I can't entirely remember. I think she's West.
West, not Midwest. So Midwest is like Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota. That's Midwest. I don't know why they call it that, but it's considered Midwest.
Well, Midwest is huge. Like, it's,
West, I guess, is like anywhere from what is considered West? New Mexico, Colorado. West, is that West? I don't know.
Sort of.
South
that's Sun Belt, isn't it? All that Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
Is Katy Midwest?
I thought I said. I think she's. I can't remember, and I could be wrong because I can't remember what she was. But I think she's West.
Oh, West. You actually think she's West? Oh, okay.
I think she's West.
Oh gosh, Colorado. Is that far enough west? I don't think she was born in California. I feel like she was like a preacher's kid somewhere else. Again, I'm totally. Chris Evans, Captain America. I don't know.
Well, I mean, basically, just go. If you just give me quick answers, and then I can go. And I've got the little map thing. I've got a map here, and then you can see which ones you get right. And we'll just next week we'll go and keep going.
You're gonna make me Chris Evans. I'm going with Ohio. I have no reason why. No reason. None.
I wish I'd selected a better way of selecting these.
Robert Downey Jr. I actually have a friend who Robert Downey is his favorite actor of all time. That doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form, though. Let's go with Robert Downey. Oklahoma. I don't know. I don't know.
Beyonce.
I guessed Georgia with her before, didn't I? Atlanta?
You did, yeah.
I was wrong. Okay, so
it's interesting how you remember the failures.
I know. I don't know. South Carolina. No, that doesn't even sound right. That's like sounds like the worst guess ever. I don't know.
I can't remember really where she was.
Might
be right.
Yeah, South Carolina. Gary Johnson, libertarian politician. I mean, really, I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, just go. It's the bottom of the barrel scraping, isn't it? Like,
what does that even mean? Like, if you say bottom of the barrel, anyone who lives in that bottom of the barrel is going to feel.
Well, it might be a British expression. In fact, it probably is. It's when you can't. You're having to select something, and it's like there's nothing left. Absolutely nothing left. Or well, actually, I think it comes from when they had like rum on ships, and it was kind of there's nothing. Well, there's nothing in the barrel at all. You just basically got your glass, your cup, and you're scraping it along, trying to get some juice of beer or rum or whatever it was. So
okay, this is why it's good to have these discussions because it's not. That's not. I think it's somewhat what it means here, but it would be more like. It'd be more of a negative connotation, and that doesn't sound like a negative connotation to me.
Well, it is negative, as in there's nothing really. I mean, Gary Johnson is not somebody I would normally pick as a celebrity in this state, but he was literally the most famous person I could find on their list of people born in this state. So.
Okay, well, I think I said this last time. Let's get a libertarian politician on here because I honestly don't even know what that is, and it'd be interesting to discuss. So Gary Johnson, if anyone knows him, bring him on. Tell him we want to interview him because now I'm curious. Okay, let's go with Vermont.
Nope, not Utah. It's Vermont.
Why would Walt Disney open up Disneyland in California. You know what? Let's say Walt Disney was born in California.
Another even more scraping the bottom of the barrel.
George Clinton Johnson, screenplay writer of Logan's Run. Montana. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad way of guessing. Anywhere that's like anybody's too obscure, they're going to be from one of these poxy US states in the middle of nowhere, probably.
Can I just say, Montana has one of the most gorgeous national parks in all of the United States. Glacier National Park is mind-blowing. It's gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to go, it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, mind-boggling beautiful. The majority of the state is pretty dry and flat, but that area is gorgeous. Okay, so who's next? Cheryl Ladd, original Charlie's Angels. Nevada. Taylor Swift. Did I already say Taylor Swift from Texas?
Got a feeling you might have.
Did I guess, or I might have guessed Nashville with her?
Well, Nashville isn't a state, so anyway.
Well, Tennessee. I might have guessed. I'm guessing she has to be. She was. I want to say she was born in the South, but okay, just put Texas. I think
that's what you put last week.
I did.
Well, we'll try it. We'll leave it as Texas. Just in case you didn't.
Calvin Coolidge, U.S. president. I want to say. I want to say like New England type state. Yeah.
Well, I think with older celebrities on here, they will tend to be from the east side of the country, just because.
Yeah. Well, presidents, and so should I say Pennsylvania or like higher up?
Well, I think it's higher up because I think there's enough people from Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts. Let's just go with Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Houston. This is. Oh, I got this one way wrong. Did I get this one wrong?
Yeah. Well, you got everything apart from Ariana Grande and.
I said again, right?
Somebody else.
Did I wait? Was Eminem on here? Am I thinking of a different quiz?
Yeah, Eminem was on here, and you got him wrong.
Because I guessed Eminem, Detroit, Michigan, which means. Wait a minute. Let's try Whitney with Michigan.
Michigan.
Gosh, I've seen so many specials on Whitney. You know, I used to say Whitney sang the soundtrack of my life. When she passed away, she was the only celebrity I've ever cried over. Like, I was bawling. I absolutely loved her, and followed her music from.
I think she's one of the artists who's had the most consistent. She had the most consistently good music. Right.
And then even right before she passed away, the last album, they say it wasn't her best, but it was so soulful and just beautiful. Just the songs like clung to my soul, and that's how Whitney was. But anyways, okay, I'm going with Michigan.
We've done Michigan. Lisa McCaskey,
U.S. Senator. From where? A senator from where? From where? From where? Where would she be?
You were having exactly zero help in the comments. I'm not actually sure anybody's watching this. It's so boring, this quiz. That does anyone on Twitter come back with any suggestions? For you?
Indiana. I'm just throwing it out there. Indiana. I'm seeing if anyone help me with Brad Pitt. I saw something random. Oh, you know who helped me? Jeremy Mark Rich just helped me. He said Arkansas. And that sounds right. Jeremy, how do you know this? Jeremy, how do you know this? By the way, we need Jeremy to come back on and chat with us. Jeremy, are you listening?
Well, he can help you with a quiz, can't he? Because we'll probably still be doing this. I
feel like if you bring Jeremy on, you need to like have a different kind of quiz because. So he said Arkansas.
Well, do you want to accept his answer and change
Yeah,
it
I'm
from
totally accepting his answer. He knows everything. He's brilliant.
who was it? Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. I was in the vicinity, though. I knew it was like.
I'm not sure he's right. I don't know. Well, to be honest, he might be right. And whatever my source was.
I think.
But yeah, it's that kind of area.
Okay, so
Neil Armstrong. You know, first.
Come on next Thursday. We need some to chat with you. Okay, Neil Armstrong. Did I already say Florida?
Well, you got that right with Ariana Grande. So
that's right. See, this is the kind of stuff I can't. Okay, I saw a special on him too. Like a. Where was he? Where was he? Where was he doing this? Where in the world was he? It was a movie or something.
I think there was I think I watched it on a plane. There was a he had loads of clips with him in it, and then I realised he died like about 10 years ago. I didn't realise. Yeah. A documentary on him. Yeah,
and but to remember where again?
I think it's somewhere up north.
Wisconsin. Did I already say Wisconsin for anyone?
No, you haven't. So, I mean, there's no duplicate checking in this thing. So you can just say Wisconsin for everybody. We can have a look to see.
No, okay, this is how bad I am with tests. Do you know that if it's multiple choice, that's what I would do in multiple choice tests? Because I literally cannot take a test. So I would just say B the whole way down. Not because I'm not smart. It's that with ADHD and the way my brain works, I don't learn like most people. So, okay, where are we? Who's
Dirk Benedict? Who's the guy? Face from the 18.
He's what? Oh, the 18.
Yeah, I think he was Face from the 18. He was also in Battlestar Galactica, the original one. I don't know what the hell he's been doing in the last 20 years or so, but. I mean, to be fair, there probably were like more famous people in some of these states. They just were like TikTok and YouTube people that I'd never heard of. So. Are you hoping to filibuster me out of doing the quiz?
Alabama.
Madonna,
where's she from? Where's she? I don't know. Where's she? Madonna. Where's she from? Where's Madonna from? Just say, did I already say New Jersey? Just say New Jersey. I don't know. She's not from New Jersey. She doesn't have that. Where is she from? Did I already say Missouri for someone? I did, didn't I?
You changed it, though.
Missouri. Let's say Missouri. Sarah Palin. What was she doing in Alaska if she wasn't born there? I specifically remember getting that wrong. Why was she there as their governor if she wasn't born there?
Well, because it's probably an easy place to get elected as governor.
Why would you?
I mean, they say people go to Alaska for
for what?
Well, it's because you can you can make people disappear, and you can disappear in Alaska. It's kind of like.
Oh, I did hear that, and I know I actually want to go there. It's supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It is on my list. It's high on my list. But that was just a random.
Judge Reinhold, who I'm trying to remember who he is. I think he's an actor of some variety. I can't remember exactly what the name's for me.
Utah.
So is that for Judge Reinhold?
Reinhold. Wait, didn't we say George Floyd was from Texas? No? Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, you did. I think you might have said a couple of people from Texas. I think it might be your default.
Did I already get it wrong with him, though? With George Floyd?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where exactly he is from. It's not. Yeah, it's not Minnesota, or it's not where he died.
I know, and I thought it was Texas, but no. I'm gonna guess. You know what? I am gonna put the same state for multiple people. Let's say for him, let's say Arkansas. I could have sworn he went to Minnesota.
What about Judge Reinhold? Is it Utah?
I said Utah. Yeah, I'm just skipping over people. Sarah Palin. Why? Where would you come from to go to Alaska? Like, what would you be doing? Why? Sarah Palin. She had an accent. Do you remember she had an accent?
Well, all Americans have accents.
But it wasn't like mine. She sounded different than me. She sounded. Oh. Okay, so wait a minute.
You're not started looking them up on Google now, have you?
No.
Do anybody use?
This is how my brain works. She had one of those Minnesota accents. So she must be Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. Let's guess one of those states. Oh. I'm remembering her voice. No, I don't cheat. Look, this is my map. Looking at the map and I'm remembering people's from her accent. So let's go with Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota. What should I say? Minnesota.
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, good God. New Mexico. Some of these people are just going to.
Yeah, well, statistically, if you keep guessing, you'll eventually get Dan Brown, novelist.
Brown. I think. Is he East Coast? Aren't his books based in the East Coast? Am I wrong?
Well, one of them's based in the Vatican, so I'm not sure you'd say that's the East Coast.
Oh. I'm still going with East Coast. Okay, so Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Random. Don't know. Eminem. Good God. Okay, so he wasn't in Detroit. So let's go with Indiana.
Indiana. And you go Indiana or somebody else above.
Well, this is the way it has to be.
Yeah, you went for Missouri for him last week, I think.
No, I somewhere like that. Because he got famous in Detroit, so I went with Michigan. Steve Harvey.
I think that's the guy who's famous for the Family Fortunes memes.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a comedian. He has his own show. Where was he born, though? Let's go with Steve. Where were you born?
You got him on telephone then?
Where were you born? I would like to be on family. What's it called? Family.
Well, they call it Family Fortunes in the UK. Family Fortune, but I think it's called Family Feud or something.
Family Feud. That's what it's called. I want to be on that. Okay. Oh gosh. Arizona. Morgan Freeman.
Get busy giving the right answers or get them wrong. That doesn't sound anything like Morgan Freeman.
That's pretty good, Tim.
Used to be. Well, the trouble is that you end up doing impersonations of people, and then you end up using some terribly racist sounding fake accent. So it's like
everyone wants Morgan Freeman to narrate their life story. Did you know this?
Yeah.
I saw it on Twitter. That was a Twitter fact.
I think I replied Morgan Freeman for that, actually. Yeah.
I said, I actually said, what is her name? The actress that played Queen Elizabeth. Why am I forgetting her name now?
Judi Dench? No, it's not Queen. That's
the one
who was in Lord of the Rings.
Huh?
Kate Blanchett, was it?
Kate Blanchett. That's who I want. Yes. That's who I want narrating my life story. Okay. Where am I now? I already lost train of thought.
Morgan Freeman.
North Carolina. Jeff Bezos. Washington. I think I guessed that last week, though. Why do I remember that? I just say it again. Reese Witherspoon, Oklahoma. I got Stephen King right. Yay me. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yay me. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. New Jersey. That was so random. I don't know why I'm saying New Jersey. I just don't.
H.P. Lovecraft, who I thought you would know, but you don't. He's a horror writer, famous horror writer.
A famous horror writer. Where are his books based?
Somewhere in the US, I think. Call of Cthulhu and things. Well, but it's actually bigger in like fantasy role playing actually, because he had his own.
You know, Tim, here's a little tidbit about me. I don't read horror and I don't watch horror because it gives me nightmares. So I wouldn't know anything about anything. Let's go with Nebraska. Yeah, Michael Phelps. Although Michael Phelps seems like he might be from Nebraska now that I think about it. Or Iowa. I feel like he's from like Nebraska, Iowa, somewhere around there. Let's go with Iowa for Michael Phelps. Jenna Malone, film actress, Hunger Games. Okay. Let's go with South Dakota. That's random. I don't know.
Well, it's not a bad guess because again, it's like the smaller states are going to obscure people. So, in general,
Winona Ryder has a bit of an accent. What kind of accent does she have? It's the East Coast. So I'm trying to hear their voices in my head, like how they sound.
Not bad. No, if you can get in the general vicinity, you might chance upon another couple.
Okay, let's go with Vermont for her. I don't even remember if I've said that state yet.
You have said it before, but we'll do it anyway.
Warren Buffett. I believe he currently lives in California, but where was he actually born? He's actually very fascinating to me. Where was he born, though? I want to say he's a Midwest boy. But where? Let's go with... Where would he be born? I'm going to say Iowa again for him, just because.
It's kind of interesting the states that you forget about.
Michael Jackson. Where was Michael Jackson? Wait a minute. Michael Jackson was Motown. Okay, I'm going to say Michigan for him too, but that doesn't mean he was born there. Just say Michigan for him as well. Bruno Mars.
Giving you duplicate answers means that on my state map, you won't know which one necessarily is the right one.
Oh, I don't know how else to guess.
Yeah, Bruno Mars. I had actually seen he made a big thing about where he was born, but unless you've known that, it was.
No, I don't pay. For the most part, I don't pay attention. It's like if I randomly saw a special. Bruno Mars, George Bush. Wait a minute, was he born in Texas? They're big Texas people. Okay, I'm gonna have to say him for Texas too. I don't know Bruno Mars.
He's a singer.
No, I know who he is. I don't even have a guess.
I know you don't know him personally. You know, he's like
we're best friends.
You just ring him up and say, Bruno, where are you born?
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going with East Coast. New York.
I'll have to remind myself the actual answers at some point between the weeks.
Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. I feel like he was a Southern boy, but where am I going to guess? Let's go with Arkansas for Johnny Cash. No, because we already said I'm believing
Arkansas twice.
I'm believing Jeremy, so it can't be Arkansas. It's Johnny Cash. Alabama.
Courtney Cox.
Don't have a clue. No idea. Idaho. I don't know.
State you haven't picked before.
No, or is she East Coast? Was she? I don't know. More like Indiana type. I don't know.
You keep saying Indiana.
Everyone seems like they're born in Indiana. Amelia Earhart.
Well, leave it as Idaho because you haven't said that before. So.
Yeah, just say that. Amelia Earhart. I'm
Famous.
gonna South Carolina.
Emma Stone. I can't remember what she's been in a lot of stuff.
I don't even know what states I've guessed now. I don't know where I am.
It's interesting to me the ones you keep missing. Like there are a couple of big states that you never say for anything. So,
like, what do you consider big states? Like Oklahoma? Have I said Oklahoma, New Mexico?
you haven't said Ohio for anybody.
I haven't.
No.
Okay, it's good Oklahoma for Emma Stone.
We said Oklahoma about 3 times. You got an obsession with Oklahoma. Apart from one, I think it actually is Oklahoma. I don't think you've ever actually said, but we'll do it.
Elijah Wood. What haven't I said, Tim? I don't know where I am. North Dakota, South Dakota. Have I said both of those?
You said South Dakota. I'm not sure about North Dakota.
Let's give him. Oh, he's not North Dakota. We'll just give him North Dakota. At this point, everyone's getting whatever. Gene Wilder. What? Gene Wilder. Who's Gene Wilder?
Isn't he like that actor who was in Blazing Saddles and Charlie and Chocolate Factory?
Oh, okay.
Gene Wilder. Could be wrong.
Okay. Pennsylvania. Chrissy Teigen. West Virginia. I haven't said West Virginia yet, huh?
I haven't said West Virginia.
Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, let's start this up again. My brain is shot. Let's start it up again next week.
Well, let's see how you've done so far.
Uh-huh.
You haven't got any right.
Oh, my word. No, we're not going to. Tim Lewis. I don't know. I have no idea. No.
Oh, well.
You're just going to. Next week,
massively. Right, let's give it to that.
I give up. And next week, we're going to give.
According to, I'm pretty sure it was Oklahoma where Brad Pitt was born, according to the famousbirthdays.com website that I looked him up on.
Okay, well, he is that vicinity.
Let's go to Wikipedia.
He is that vicinity. I know that.
I can't type properly.
I knew he was that vicinity. I just know. And Jeremy obviously knew too. And there is a story about him in Arkansas, so I'm not surprised that he said that. There's something with him and with Brad in Arkansas. What, though? I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, okay, let me share this. Oh, I've got to get rid of this one. Right, stop screen. And then I've got to share Chrome tab. And
are you showing us where they're all born now? Oh, no, you're showing us Brad Pitt, Oklahoma. So what is it with, okay.
Oh, you lived in Missouri.
Missouri. Interesting. Okay.
Well, what about Eminem? Eminem, I think he was Missouri, actually. Yeah, St. Joseph, Missouri. Hometown is Detroit.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why it was so confusing. That was so tricky.
I think Madonna, I thought she was New York. Right. Michigan. Okay.
Michigan. Okay.
Well, anyway.
I would never have guessed her Michigan. I was guessing the complete. Where was Whitney Houston born? Now I need to know this. That is my hero. Where was she born?
Houston. She was born in New Jersey.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Usually got where they grew up. She seems to be all over the place.
New Jersey. Okay. Who else did I guess for Detroit? I guessed. Oh, Michael Jackson. Where was he born?
It was somewhere old, as I remember. It wasn't at all where I thought it might have been. Actually been Indiana.
Oh, I was I was way off for everyone. I give up.
It was interesting though, because it's the same. Like lots of people in America are not born at all where you think they are. So.
No, I totally give up. And I was born in San Diego, and you would guess I was, because I often say native San Diegan. I didn't come here until I was 9 months. So technically I was born really close to Long Beach. So
we've got the serious
bit. Is it something you want to talk about seriously? I know we've talked off camera about some serious things that are close to both of our hearts.
Well, we've got like 3 minutes, so
that's serious. But
we could run over a bit. I'm tired out from that quiz, to be honest. It's like remarkably.
I'm exhausted, Tim. You made me work.
We managed to get rid of all the viewers.
I want to talk about something. If you don't, I'm going to bring this up. Let's bring this up. We could do it real fast. You and I have both noticed that. I want to say this gently. So let me actually say it this way. I'm a mom of 3 boys. I'm also very much a feminist. I believe that when we fight for feminism and when we want equal rights for males and females and everyone across the board, we have to be willing to treat each other equally across the board. And that would be and include things that that hurt my heart, because I think of my boys, where I want them to be willing. I want them to treat women exceedingly well. I want them to give women equal opportunities. I want them to be men that raise women up. We have the other side, though, and I'm going to say this as a woman and as a feminist. I don't like when I see in the media women, in an effort to raise themselves up, put men down. I don't think anything good comes out of that. And I've seen memes where women are saying things like, all men are like this, and it's something negative.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically, in general, anything where you see all put insert group is, and then anything afterwards, whether positive or negative.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a biological fact or whatever. It's like, well, actually, even with that, you can't necessarily say anything. But yeah, I mean, I think I sent you. I mean, I didn't comment on it, but somebody on Facebook is kind of in my vague circle. But she put this post up saying like all women have patience and men don't, or something. And I was like, well, that's a bit of a sweeping kind of sexist. If you put it the other way around, they'd be probably reported for hate speech or something. So there's an awful lot of that in society now, and it's an issue because people aren't treating everybody seems to be finding a group that they can associate with to put down another group, rather than saying, let's fight for equality. It's let's fight to be better than the other group. I mean, I could start. I mean, it's strange because even arbitrary, like the whole Brexit debate in the UK, it's like you've got this thing between people who support Brexit and people who don't support Brexit, and then they call each other names and make generalizations about why people voted a particular way or did a particular thing.
Yeah,
it's especially bad when it regards to sex, really. I mean, it used to be men that did it all the time, and I know there are still some men who do it. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, men are the victims in this situation all the time and the rest of it. But there's a growing trend of anti-men sentiment, certainly online.
There is we definitely hear it we definitely hear things like this from both sides. I'm trying to be real careful how I talk about this because it's such a sensitive issue, and we definitely have a history of men putting women down. Let's be honest. We have that. We do have that history. But in an attempt to raise ourselves up, in an attempt to gain equal rights, in an attempt to step into who we are as women and as feminists, it does no good to beat the other side down.
It does no good to objectify, quote, the other side.
Correct.
I mean, it's kind of like people say, "Oh, women are." I mean, it always used to be, "Oh, women are too emotional," when they get like whatever the things were in the 1920s. It was like hysteria. I mean, women were committed for like hysteria, what the fuck that was.
Well, yeah.
In like the turn of the century. But yeah, you can't make generalizations about people.
Yeah, you know, and that is the common argument is, well, women are too emotional to be in leadership. Women are too this or too that. Well, you know what? Let's start using the word passionate.
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't heard. I mean, part of the problem is that obviously the circles we engage in. I mean, I haven't heard a man say, they may think that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a man say that in decades.
And there's men who are highly sensitive, which is a beautiful thing because it means that they are sensitive to the needs of the world and to each other and to women. And
well, there were also women who were highly unsensitive.
Absolutely. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. Okay, can I read this? I got this. I wanted to look up what exactly does feminism mean. Being a feminist means that you fight for the equality of all people. It's important that your feminism is intersectional. It should not exclude people based on gender, race, socioeconomic status, ability, or sexual orientation. Feminism allows people to look at the world not as it is, but how it could be. I got that from iup.edu.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a contradiction statement, isn't it? It's kind of like treat everybody the same, as a woman. So, I mean, that's almost kind of like fighting for equality in general. It doesn't really matter whether you're a woman or you think you're a woman, you used to be a man, or you think you're some non-binary thing and all the rest of it.
Let me read this from Wikipedia because actually I was surprised at what the definition was, but it's the same definition everywhere. I'm pulling it up. The feminist movement, also known as the women's movement or simply feminism, refers to a series of political campaigns for reforms on issues such as reproductive rights, domestic violence, maternity leave, equal pay, women's suffrage, sexual harassment, sexual violence, all of which fall under the label of feminism. What is the best definition for feminism? The belief, this is from Webster Dictionary, the belief that men and women, okay, I like this. The belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities, organized activity in support of women's rights and interests. Okay. So there's that. I won't go on and read anymore, but whenever I like to do
words. No, I mean, it's interesting when you go to definitions of words and what they mean and what people think they mean. I mean, it's like, I was thinking the other day that I think the bigger problem in societies, and certainly the UK and the US, is that people have forgotten about class, so to speak. And I think there are definitely issues with class in the US, not like a formal kind of like you lot have got butlers and people in your, like you've got servants and things in the old way it was in the UK. But there's certainly privilege that comes from being born to wealthy families in the US or wealthy in particular states and areas and the rest of it that people are ignoring, and again mixed up with race and sex and this, which clearly are big factors, but people have forgotten like this. If you're born somewhere where both your parents have got opioid problems and you're somewhere in the middle of nowhere where there's no work and anything, that's a very different situation to being born to two wealthy people in the middle of San Francisco in a nice house that's multi-million dollars, whatever your race and sex are. So I think people confuse try and lump groups together and say, well, this group's doing well and this group's doing badly, and to some extent that's true, but you can never say general statements about anything because you end up in a mess.
There's challenges to any label that you want to place on a people group. Each one has its own challenges, whatever it might be.
So are you left or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Oh, I am as well. That's unfortunate because I could have made loads of like say all left-handed. There's like all left-handed people are creative, or all these left-handed people are disruptive, and you can create groups and things. And then it's interesting.
And it's and it goes down to I mean there's labels that would be placed on me is ADHD, and so I don't learn the same as other people. But the truth is, I'm a very creative learner. I completely engage in the learning process. What that means for me is I can't do certain things like take tests. It doesn't mean that I can't write a report in 2 seconds. So these labels that we want to put on people are not accurate all the time.
Well, I think the more worrying thing with labels is that people believe the label about themselves. So somebody will say, "Oh, Christelle's a slow learner" or whatever, and then you think you start to believe that you can't do particular things because somebody said, "Oh, you're a slow learner."
That actually is a really valid point, because I've talked to many people across the board with ADHD, and this includes my own heart. Because we don't learn like the typical classroom, we don't learn the same as everyone else in the typical classroom. We've been told our entire life that we're not as smart as certain people. And that is not the case. I mean, again, I'm kind of standing up for ADHD and using this as an example, but what it means is we don't see a box. Whereas that whole phrase, work outside the box, look outside the box, whatever, we don't even see a box. Like there's no box. So the creativity that surrounds people with ADHD is unsurpassing. I mean, it's phenomenal. We do things uniquely. We know that there's a creative solution to every single problem. We fully engage in the entire world around us. So
but I will challenge you on this, because you are speaking for everybody. Have you met everybody in the world with ADHD?
No. This is based on just being in ADHD groups.
There's always kind of this counter thing as well. Like, you find out you're in a group, and then like you want a whole load of positive attributes to put on to say, and that's true. I mean, the worst case is with people with Asperger's and autistic people, with the whole kind of what was that? This is where I'm getting like dementia. I'm going to go for dementia groups here. No, that film with Dustin Hoffman in it, where he's and he's a Rain Man, and he's made out to be, because he's autistic, they can go to the casino and he can memorize all this thing. And it's like, not everybody with autism has some special superpower that's going to make them. Sometimes people just have issues, and it doesn't always represent that people have. You're right in a way to extenuate the positives, but I'm not sure that everybody with ADHD necessarily would have those positives in a way. That makes sense.
And I get where you're coming from, but we've been told certain things about ourselves for so long that we have to start saying, actually, this is the positive, and actually, it's not a learning disability. It's that we were placed in a certain atmosphere to learn a certain way, and we didn't learn that way.
Oh yeah,
creativity. I can't speak for people with autism and Asperger's. I've had many conversations, but it'd be interesting to bring someone onto the show to speak for themselves and on their behalf, because we would learn something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was I going to say? Education is screwed up anyway in general. I mean, we basically imprison our children for like 10 years. And then, I mean, there's a large chunk of school is basically daycare for kids, so that the parents can work in the modern Western society. And the best, like, a lot of people get good education, but a lot of people get like terrible, especially in the US and the UK.
It's
Well, people
changing a little.
literally just to keep them off the streets. So that's my controversial thing. I'm going to say probably lose our viewer.
Education in general needs to be talked about. Let's talk about that in the future and what it means and how it needs to change. And that the truth is not everybody learns the same way. And that's such a hot topic and we have to discuss that.
Yeah.
But that's the serious bit for today. The serious bit. We went from feminism to labels. So, but that's good.
Yeah.
Topic.
And
Tim?
yeah, I suppose I shall play the outro. Did I miss this? I didn't miss this section. I don't think I did. Now to work out what button do I press? Do I press them in the right order?
Coming on Tuesday.
We have got Fiona Lucas, who she's an amazing character. She's almost Australia, so she'll be getting up early. So she looks terrible. It's just because she's getting up early, not because she looks terrible in general. And she's an expert on online safety for children.
Good. Brilliant. Wonderful.
Talk about. Yeah, she's also a tremendous laugh. So
good. Yay. Tremendous laugh.
Yes, it's Tuesday. So goodbye, viewers or viewees or person who viewed it 2 hours ago. I'm going to play the outro and hopefully I'll not cut this up.
My friends. Goodbye, Tim. See you next time.
This is terrifying for me.
I've made more money in the last 3 years than I did in the previous 7.
Well, shit.